Hi, my friends. How are you doing? Is everything fine? What's up? Tell me. I hope you're doing fine. I'm Sajid Montazeri, and here we are with another session of Twinmotion software training. In the previous session, we covered the general topics of glass and glass materials together. If you use the standard mode, I want to have a brief review of the color mode settings as well. Although its settings are the same as the previous modes we've worked on in various sections, you see that the options are very repetitive. Only in the color section, you can tint a color onto your work. I'll tint this color, and I want to tell you a point. Here, assume I come here and tint this color like this. I can have a spectrum like this. If you happen to tint the color and cannot see its effect on the work, in such cases you can go into its settings and look for two reasons. So the first reason is related to opacity settings. Now, sometimes if opacity and Fresnel coefficient are too low or high, you cannot see the effects. Second reason is the use of texture. In many cases, if you see the saturation, gamma, lift, or gain don't create any changes in the color of the material for you. It stems from the fact that the material has no texture at all. Very well, I applied this. Now I can select it with the eyedropper. Here in the material section, it shows me that this material is picked here, and I can click and drag this to other material as well. Because those might not have had these changes applied to them. I look here, it is applied, and now just as a precaution, I apply it to these once more. I rotate around, it's clear from their color whether they have taken this material or not. We can apply it here again and click and drag here and click and drag here too. Very good. Like this. So the difference that the bottom material window has with the left one is that the left one contains the general Twinmotion materials, but the bottom one contains the materials that we have come and used in this project. Now you can use the cleanup option here, which has an icon like a broom. It causes material that you were just testing and brought into the scene but didn't use to be deleted. I recommend doing this every few minutes to make your work a bit lighter. So we created these glasses in the project like this. I hit the material button again and enter the metal section. I want to work on the metal materials settings with you. The main metal part we have in mind in this project is this entrance door. I can use various types of metals. Let's test a few together. For example, we can test this metal together, or this metal, which is like this, or this metal. So I test different ones. It has some texture on it, as you can see this one. We can select it via the material picker to see it larger. In the Grunge section, it brings some dirt onto that shape. I recommend you definitely enable this option for all your materials that have Grunge capability. This makes your work more realistic. So here, tint has meaning for us because we have a texture and we can easily see the effect of the tint. I can make this a bit darker like this, and after that I hit OK. The dark color is specified here for us. Luminosity controls the brightness and darkness of the object. If luminosity is 0, it doesn't matter what texture is on it. It shows it as a solid color, black for example, and if it is on 100, it shows the work in its brighter state. In the details section, you can view the texture, and right now it says I am reading these scratches and bumps from this texture. You can hit open and if needed and introduce texture to it, or in the saturation section, if your texture is colored, you can increase or decrease the color intensity. Since our metal doesn't have much color, we can't really see the effect or saturation. And subsequently gamma, lift, and gain. But if you had a texture that was colored, you could see the result of this better. In the UV section, you can select one of the options of world space or local space from the triplanar mode, so you can change these options. One of the very, very attractive options that Twinmotion provides us is this randomize option. If you felt you were viewing from a distance and the texture keeps repeating on your work, you can just enable this object. You can hit scale and increase or decrease the size of these textures. Hit rotation like this. I hit S to move back and make these a bit smaller. We can go into the details section and stretch these in any direction we want, which I don't intend to do right now. In the roughness section, you can slide this to the right to have maximum roughness, or to the left to have minimum roughness. I said the opposite of roughness becomes metalness. The more I decrease roughness, the more its metallic characteristic increases, and the more I increase roughness, its non-metallic characteristic increases. It depends on whether you want to use these things or not. It's up to you. I'll help it a bit here. For example, adjusting roughness. You can have settings in the clear coat section. This is mostly used for car paint material. As you can see, if you hit enable, it puts a layer as a coat or covering over your entire work. You can have its intensity and also its opacity here. Can change it. Now that layer that wants to coat, to what extent should I be metallic or non-metallic? That's the question. You can see the result in this section. It's exactly like those clear coatings placed on cars. In the metallic section here, it wants you to help it and say to what extent this material should behave like a metal. And if you increase it, the behavior is fully simulated as a metal state. You can hit details and control this with the texture. As I said, I will work with you extensively on all these items that require texture in the context of a material we will create ourselves. We enter the normal section. Here you can control the amount of bumps. Well, in this state, we don't really need to have bumps, but know that normals are controlled by a normal map. And uh, here you can control the size of this normal map and also control its intensity, how much bumpiness it is supposed to have. In the parallax section, if you enable this checkmark, you have better control over light and shadows, which again in this material can't really show its result. The next section, which again we can't see the result of much right now, is the ambient occlusion. It causes a series of lines like on break joints. And the next section is emissive. You can make the material self-illuminated, and when your time of the day goes toward night, this causes it to emit a light with the color you specify here. Which again, obviously in this case is not very useful for us. And in this section, you can increase or decrease the intensity and concentration of that light. We enter the opacity section. You can help it via a map to show parts of this as transparent and parts as non-transparent, X-ray and other options we worked on previously. And the default is set to metal. I looked from a distance and think it became a suitable material for this door, and for now we can accept this. The rest of the materials have similar settings. You can test yourself and see its different modes to see which is suitable for which part of the project. I have another metal section inside the project, which is the frame of this Windows railing, and if I need to, I can give this a different material too, but I prefer to use the same material used in this section there as well. I want the same material to be used here, therefore with a material picker, I click this part. In the material section, I select this part and click and drag and place it on this railing here as well. Now, if you need it, you can use other metal materials for the railing too. I'll just hold the mouse over it and you can see the result. It shows you its rendered state like this, but I don't want to use a lot of material variety in this section for now. Here I check to see if it has taken the metal material or not. Yes, I think it has taken it here too. And we managed to set the material for all metal parts of our work. Let's do a test on the top railing as well. Yeah, and here, well, here I can apply a material to it again or give it a different material. Let's check here to see if this part has taken the material or not. No, I apply it here too. Click and drag here. I apply it. Very good. And I check this section again. Very well. This also has material. I apply the material to it once more for this frame. Decide for yourself whether you want it to have that material or this right section has the same material as the frame, meaning this also becomes metal. So here, Control plus Z. I consider another material for this part later. Right up to this point, we were able to apply the material to the metal parts of our work as well. So we will talk about more topics in the next sessions. Until the next time, goodbye.